actually going to cover the 3 horrific or very horrifying numbers from Facebook that majority of Facebook advertisers don't even know that it exists. Now, for those of you who are actually advertising on Facebook or thinking of advertising on Facebook, this is something that you absolutely need to actually pay attention to, and things that you obviously need to be sure of before you even actually scale your advertising campaign or look into analyzing your advertising campaign. Now, first of all, let me tell you why these 3 numbers are kind of scary. One of the things that really lead to your account suspension is because of these 3 numbers that's really hidden inside your Facebook account. You actually can't find it anywhere. You actually need to go in, customize your columns to actually see these 3 specific numbers. And I'm going to walk you through today on explaining what these 3 numbers means, how it makes a tremendous effect on your advertising campaign, on especially the cost, and how it can actually lead you to a forever account suspension. Now, I'm talking about forever because if your account got suspended due to these 3 different numbers, you cannot get your account back regardless of what you do. Even if you know someone inside Facebook, you can't even get your account back. How do I know? Well, I experienced that before. I saw one of my account going through down that road that really caused me to lose an ad account because of this one issue, which are 3 numbers. Now, obviously, before we begin, write in the question box, and it depends on where you guys are at, okay? We are broadcasting this live on YouTube. We are broadcasting this live on Facebook right now. This is actually my first time doing Facebook. It's actually something fun for me to do. So before we do anything, I really want to basically have you tell me where you guys are from first, right? I love to do this all the time, and you'll see me sometimes watching over the screen over here, only because I have my iPad open and I can actually see people commenting and all this other stuff, not just on GoToWebinar, but at the end of the day, I can actually see you guys on YouTube and on Facebook, etc., etc. So again, write in the comment box, write in whatever you guys are at, write in YouTube or whatever. Tell me where you guys are from. Wow, I got people from Vancouver, which I saw some of you like Erlinda. I saw her right at our event just on Saturday. I got Kathy from Denver, Colorado. I got Ray from Denver, Colorado. I got Sue from New York City. I got North Carolina, Colorado. Wow, I got like 3 people in Colorado just based off the 4 people that I mentioned their names of. I got David from Sutton. I got David, sorry, from Wisconsin. I got people from Edmonton, Las Vegas, Colorado Springs. I got a lot of people from Colorado today. Calgary, New York, Idaho, Virginia. Wow, I got Atlanta, San Diego. A lot of people from the States. Amazing. I love to see that. Now, obviously, before we begin, I want to make sure I feel out where you guys are at in terms of Facebook advertising. Put a 1 in the question box if you are already running Facebook ads, and give me a 2 in the question box if you have not started, but you are considering starting your Facebook ads. Now, it doesn't matter what kind of business you are in. It can be in e-commerce. It can be in local business. It can be anything you want. So I just want to get a feel of where we are at on the table right now. So we have a lot of people give me a 1 and give me a 2 right now. Excellent, excellente. So anyways, regardless if you are a newbie in Facebook advertising or if you are already advertising on Facebook, there are 3 numbers that you absolutely need to be aware of when you are advertising on Facebook. And I'm going to write these stuff down. So we're doing this differently. Right now, I can actually have the ability to show you my screen so we can take notes together. Again, like all these shows, it's very important for you to actually make sure that you have a piece of paper and pen ready to take notes, because I'm just going to plow through and tell you all the things that actually help you for your business. So anyways, going back into the 3 horrifying numbers. Inside Facebook, one thing that you need to understand is that Facebook favors their users over advertisers. And Facebook is a platform that is built to make sure that users on their Facebook have the best experience ever. They don't want to piss them off with ads. They don't want to show irrelevant things to people right on their Facebook. They want to show basically things that you're interested in, etc., etc. And that's how Facebook has been growing so massively, because obviously at the end of the day, they basically want to make the user experience the best ever yet. Now, several years ago, Facebook started to introduce 3 numbers into Facebook advertisers' account. And this actually goes into every single ad. And these 3 numbers are basically used as a fuel driver for Facebook to figure out, okay, is this person advertising something or whatever their offer or service is, or whatever their ad message is, it's really helping the user and not just shoving advertisement down their throat. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, Facebook really built their entire empire of users, and users are basically cash for them. So they don't want to upset them, and they don't want advertisers to actually advertise things that will upset them at the same time. So with that, there are 3 things that Facebook introduced in every single ad inside your ad account right now. And the first is actually the relevance score. Number 2 is the positive feedback. And number 3 is negative feedback. These are the 3 hidden numbers and statistics actually in your Facebook account. Now, before we begin, obviously I want to get a understanding if you guys heard of these. Put a 3 in the question box if you know what a relevant score is, what a positive feedback is, and what a negative feedback is. Give me a 5 in the question box if you have no clue what this really all is and what this all means. Wow, I'm getting actually a lot of people giving me a 5 right now, which is very, very interesting. All right, so again, there's not a lot of people that talked about the relevance score and the positive feedback and the negative feedback, and I really want to break this up and make sure that everyone knows of this and really protect yourself from getting your account suspended. So last week, I really covered, or actually last 2 weeks, I covered a very specific strategy. Oh, I forgot to play my screen. Here you go. I basically created a specific method that's called the 3x3 method. Put a yes in the question box if you remember what it is and you have been using the 3x3 method right now. Just put a yes in the question box. All right, I got a lot of people giving me yes. That's great. Excellent. So one thing that I've came up with a 3x3 method is because of wanting you to find actually the best ad in terms of the performance, and making sure that you are getting the most or best results out of your advertising campaign. But there's actually one additional reason why I've created a 3x3 campaign, is to basically let Facebook show the ad that is most likely relevant to your users and preventing you from getting your account suspended. All right, so let me draw out the 3x3 method again so you guys can actually understand the entire concept and what is going on. So remember, in the 3x3 method scenario, let me turn on my scribble pad. Come on. All right, there you go. All right, so remember, from the 3x3 method, we have basically the campaign level over here. And then this, under the campaign level, it goes into multiples of 3. So 1 times 3, then you have the ad sets over here. Assets, and assets over here. Okay? Then you take these 3 assets and you multiply by 3 again, and you basically have 3 ads inside each asset. Okay? 2, 3. And these are basically, I'm just going to put ads, I'm not going to write it all. And this way, you're basically doing multiples of 3, right? 1 times 3 times 3 again, which equal to 9. So you're having 9 ads, you're having 3 ad sets, and you're having 1 campaign. So again, what happens in the back is that when you're running these ads, Facebook actually puts in 3 factors, not just CPM and all those other stuff, which again, relevance score does affect the CPM. They have 3 factors that they put under each of the ads. The first one is a relevance score. So they actually put a score on every single ad inside your account. And this number is basically rates from 1 to 10. 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. So when they actually serve your ad specifically to the audiences that you are targeting on Facebook, Facebook will actually look at the ad and see how people are responding to your ad and how people are interacting with your ad. And with that, obviously, they will put a number and see how relevant it is. So that's why there's a score. And something that a lot of people don't know, the relevance score plays a big role in your CPM. Okay, it plays a huge role in your CPM, and I'm going to cover that in just a minute. Now, on top of having the relevance score is also built based on the positive and negative feedback. Okay, so things that really covers a positive and negative feedback, and I'm going to cover that in just a minute. But when it comes to an ad, Facebook really factors into these three things. Yes, they are basically a direct response driven advertising network, but they don't want to actually fed up their users. So they put these numbers at play and rewards advertisers that has high numbers. Because what they're doing is that Facebook is making money from the advertisers, and they're also serving ads that basically users are happy about. And that's what they wanted to do. And that's why when you have a higher relevance score, you actually pay a far less CPM. So there's a lot of you guys here that ask, well, Fred, how can I basically get a better CPM rate? How can I basically get a lower cost when it comes to advertising on Facebook? Well, one of them is to really work on your relevance score. All right, so I hope that you guys are following me right now. This is a little bit advanced. Put a 1 in the question box if you guys are following right now, or understanding that every single ad has actually 3 different numbers that are hidden. Now, obviously, later on, I'm going to be sharing with you and walk you guys through on how to find these information so you guys understand what is going on. So with that, obviously, let's talk about the relevance score first. Okay, relevance score. So in the relevance score scenario, again, they are basically put into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's a scale of 1 to 10. Your job is to at least get as high as here. Okay? This is the best performance side of things. Obviously, we all know 10 out of 10 is going to be the best, but it's very, very hard to actually get a full 10 out of 10. But your goal is to at least get a 7, 8, 9, or 10. This will actually give you a better place and a much better position where basically Facebook is going to reward you with a lower CPM. Now, on average right now, okay, on average, Facebook, and I'm going to use a different color, Facebook really hovers at around this side over here for average, 5, 6, and 7, okay? This is the average of what it is. But when you start to go under the number to 1 all the way 4, this is a red alert, okay? Because if you start to have a lot more ads that are getting basically 1, 2, 3, and 4, your account is going to be in jeopardy. Because Facebook is seeing that you're showing irrelevant information to the audiences that are basically trying to look into Facebook. So your goal, okay, your goal is to use the 3x3 method, and under these 3 ads is to find not only the best converting ad, you want to find an ad with a relevance score that is higher. And there's one thing that you need to basically understand when it comes to relevancy. Now, on top of this, there's also a factor of positive and negative feedback, but I want to talk about the relevance score first. So let's say, for an example, if you are advertising something in relation to like turtles, okay? This is your audience, people that are basically expressing interest in turtles. And when you actually have an ad that really resonates with turtles, and people are basically doing the following, okay? People are liking it, people are commenting it, and people are clicking on either the see more button or basically looking at your image. Facebook will actually see that, oh, that means that, hey, people are really interacting and engaging with the advertiser for that's advertising a turtle, that's going after a turtle audience. So when that happens, obviously Facebook will put you a score of something high, like maybe a 7, and that's where you get a good CPM. But if you actually go after, let's say, the turtle market, and you are advertising a dolphin over here, and people actually are not engaging, so they're not engaging, and to make matter worse, if they are basically saying, I don't want to see this ad, it pulls down your relevance score. And your relevance score may be doing at like a 3 or a 4 over here. And when your account starts to not see the relevancy, okay, then what happens is that your number will actually get affected. Now, there's also one more part of the equation that we still haven't spoke about, which is your landing page. When someone actually click on your landing page, they actually click on your ad, they visit your landing page. Facebook actually monitors the time spent on this page. And if the person actually just click on the ad and click on the ad, went through your page and quickly hit back to go back into Facebook, it will affect your number as well. And the reason why is because Facebook don't see the relevancy in place. They basically, you want to go after turtle market? Well, you got to talk about turtle market. If you basically talk about the turtle, if you actually advertise a turtle product, you want to see your landing page to have more about a turtle, so people can actually stay there for more than several seconds. That basically ping backs into Facebook and say, well, these are all relevant, these are all great, these are all good. So your goal at the end of the day is to really look at these numbers. And at the end of the day, the relevance score will also give you the idea if your product, whatever, or services that you're advertising is actually in tune to the market you are advertising on. So in an example, even if you're getting a good conversion rate, but your numbers are still hitting to the 1 to 4 mark, you really need a new creative or a new ad to really help you get a higher relevance score. Because what's going to happen is that if you start to run a lot of ads, and a lot of your ads are hitting the 1, 3, 5, 2, 4 mark, what's going to happen is that Facebook will look at the second 2 numbers that I just briefly talked about, which is the positive feedback and the negative feedback. So put a 1 in the question box if you guys are all following me right now. Okay? This is obviously something that is a little bit over your guys' head, but it's actually very important that you understand this, because I know that there's a lot of you guys that just randomly got your account suspended without even knowing the reason why, right? I know that for a fact because a lot of people just say, hey, my ad got suspended, I don't know what is going on. And I know that because I actually had that problem with one of my accounts before, all because of all these problem and scenarios, which is the relevance score. But at the end of the day, Facebook also looks at the positive and negative feedback. So obviously the relevance score is important. Then they look at the second thing. It's just like moving up in the Supreme Court and like all those other stuff. You start at the local area, then move up all to the state area, and then to the countrywide. It's actually the same thing. So when you start to actually get like a lower positive score, okay, and you're like, okay, snap, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? I don't want my account to be suspended. Well, obviously, you want to have a new ad. But on top of that, what you also want to do is to look at the positive and negative feedback. And I'm going to explain to you what these means. So when it comes to a positive feedback, this is what happens and how you actually get a positive feedback. If a person, okay, and obviously, before I say how the factor is, there's basically 3, not a number, but 3 rating that comes into the feedback. There is a low, there is a medium, and there is a high, okay? Now, obviously, your goal is to obviously get high, but make sure that majority of your ads are actually hitting the medium, okay? And what factors in these positive feedbacks are really the following. Facebook look at the people liking, people look at commenting, okay? People actually look at link click, well, Facebook actually look at link click, and sometimes basically Facebook also look at the see more. So, you know, when you have actually a lot of like a long post text, it will say see more, and when you click on it, it has more post text, right? That's exactly what it is. So Facebook wants to actually see engagement. So, okay, write this down. If you guys are writing anything down, is that Facebook looks at engagement. And all these, Facebook consider these as a positive engagement. Now, at the same time, Facebook also have in place something called the negative feedback as well. Negative feedback. And with the negative feedback, Facebook actually, I'm going to change the color, also have the same rating as the positive feedback, which is low, medium, and high. And in this case, you want to make sure that you go into low. And your goal is to always go after medium. Okay? Let's be honest. At the end of the day, we cannot control what people think, what people say, what people do on Facebook. Okay? People have the freedom of speech. They can say, I don't like this ad, I hate this ad. And what Facebook really does that factors in the negative feedback is one primary thing, which is the person clicking on the X in your ad. Say yes in the question box if you've seen your ad, or basically where you're scrolling down a newsfeed, that you can actually see a toggle down and gives you an X saying that I don't want to see this ad again. Okay? Put a yes in the question box if you have seen that before, because I can actually run you a demo to show you guys what it is and exactly understanding what these X are, because at the end of the day, you want to know that. A lot of people have never seen that. Let me do this. Let me actually go over, start a browser. I'm going to go into Facebook and share with you how that looks like. I'm just going to randomly select an ad. So obviously here are all the ads, right? If you hover on top of this, is the right column ad. If you hover on top of this and you click on this, you'll see hide this ad. Why am I seeing this ad? This ad is useful. Obviously, when someone clicks on this ad is useful, it's actually going to help them, okay? It will basically help the advertiser get a positive feedback because people feel like, oh, I'm actually seeing this ad being useful. But if they click on hide this ad, okay? If they click on hide this ad, it will be prompted into the ad is hidden, and they're going to ask you why the ad is hidden. And if people are basically keep commenting the same thing, like saying it's a spam, it's annoying and not interesting, I keep seeing that. So each of these actually has a different effect in the negative feedback. So it's very important that you shouldn't be, obviously one thing is you never hide my ad if you see my ad on Facebook. Okay, I don't want to get penalized and all those other stuff. So even on a news feed, I'm going to see if I can find an ad on a news feed. Like this one over here. You can see here's a drop-down menu, and you can say basically hide this ad. Again, anytime you hide this ad, what's going to happen is that Facebook will say, well, this means that this ad is getting a lot of people hiding it. Facebook is just going to completely penalize you, and that's the way that you are going to get a much less, okay? You are going to get a high negative feedback, and what's going to happen is that your account will actually have a potential of leading to suspension. So with this, Facebook actually looks at these three data very, very precisely. And what's going to happen that if your ad hits the following, okay, the following scenario, you will actually have your account in jeopardy. And you may have your account completely suspended, and I'm talking about forever suspended. Even if you know that you're getting such a high click-through rate, it doesn't matter. Facebook looks at these three things: the relevance score, the positive feedback, and the negative feedback. So what really entitles you to actually get a account suspension and you have no clue what happened? So if you have followed their policy, you have paid everything on time, and you're still getting excuse me, and you still got an account suspension, it's really because of the following scenario that happened. So if your basic relevance score is consistently less than 4, okay, and also if your positive feedback is is low. Let me erase that. My bad. This positive feedback is low, and your negative feedback is equal to high. This will equal to an account suspension. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you guys that are watching this right now, listening and going on here, you guys all know that suddenly your account got suspended and you have no clue what is happening, right? Put a 1 in the question box if you guys actually got your account suspended without you knowing what has happened. And you know what? Facebook doesn't even show you an alert that basically say you are suspended because of this reason. And if any of you that actually got your account suspended for no reason and you don't know what has happened, I would highly suggest you log on back to the account and look at the positive feedback and the relevance score. And that's really going to help you out tremendously to see, is it your product that's not working, or is it like that? So I got someone on Facebook right now, Nalish, saying that I got it last week, and obviously that is true. A lot of people will get their account suspended without knowing. So I actually experienced that myself not long ago. I have an ad that's doing phenomenally well. Okay, my click-through rate is very high, my opt-in rate is very high, and my sales are pouring in. Then suddenly my account got suspended, and obviously I completely overlooked that. And I completely forgot to look at my relevance score, my positive feedback, and my negative feedback. Then what happened was that, okay, I got suspended for no reason. I didn't basically violate any of the policy, so I was like, oh, it hit me in the head. There's a relevance score and positive feedback and negative feedback that I really have to look at. So then I actually logged onto my account, and I realized the majority of my ads, and all these numbers are actually only in the ads level, okay? It's not in the campaign level, it's not in the asset level, it's all under the ads level, because each ad actually got a tie to it because of the ad message. And I realized majority of my ads are getting a 1, 2, or 3, and I'm getting a low positive feedback and I'm getting a high negative feedback. Once I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, that's the reason why. And that's why I have to actually show you guys what this is. So William said that, asked like, how do you actually find these numbers? So put a 2 in the question box if you want me to do a demo. Or you know what? Don't put a 2. Put the word demo right now, regardless if you're on YouTube, if you are on Facebook, or you on GoToWebinar. Put the word demo if you want me to show you where you can actually find this number, okay? Because obviously, I don't think any of you know, I would say majority of you actually don't know. And put a 1 in the question box if you actually do not know exactly where this number is. Wow, I'm getting a lot of people giving me a 1 right now, not knowing what this number is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on to one of my account right now, okay? So on here, obviously, this is the campaign level, right? Now, this is basically just a campaign where I run my post-engagement stuff. So here are the things that you actually want to look. When you're in the campaign level, click on it, and then obviously at this point, you are in the ads level. All right, here, let me show you something pretty crazy. A new test that I've been doing, and I'm just going to share this with you. So this is a new test that I've been doing. So some of you that really want to see if I'm really getting the results as I'm talking to you guys about it, if I'm really getting the results as advertised and all this other stuff, because obviously some of you guys are skeptical sometimes on what I do. Well, take a look at this. This is one of my ads. Lifetime, I spent $2,400. And then, where is my sales? I have made over $100,000 back after spending $2,450. Put a wow in the question box if you guys are like, holy crap, that blew your mind away. We got a lot of people giving wow right now. So again, I practice what I preach. I don't actually just randomly tell you guys these stuff. We do it on a daily basis. We do ads on a daily basis. We actually have, I don't consider myself as an innovator, but times I've been testing a lot of different stuff. And this is really something that I've been testing right now with post engagement. I spent $2,400. Let me make this bigger. I spent, $2,400 and made $116,000 back. Great ROI, right? Love the ROI. But anyways, not the purpose of bragging about this. So I basically go into an asset. And when you go into an asset, I'm going to make this one size smaller. When you go into an asset, look at this. This one I actually did how much? This one I spent $949 and I made $6,000 back. Not bad. 600% ROI. So with this, you can see right now inside the asset level, there's a relevance score. Okay, so if I were to go into defaults, so this is basically the default settings by Facebook, you will have the relevance number, but you don't have a lot of data. The relevance number is good. I'm at a 6, which is on an average. Now, if I go into one step deeper, okay, you will see that on default, you will have the relevance number only. But that's not enough for you to actually see it and justify it. What you wanted to do is actually go under the column section and then customize the columns, okay? And you need to do this under the ads level. When I click on customize columns, you'll be brought into basically the ability for you to customize your entire columns on what you want to see. Now, again, on default, Facebook sometimes just shares data that is irrelevant, so you want to always customize your columns. But in this case scenario, we're customizing the columns to really see the positive and negative feedback. So what we can do is under the performance, okay, you'll see a positive feedback and a negative feedback. So you want to actually add these two. Now you can actually save this column preset to something like Fred tests and apply it. And what's going to happen is that now from the drop-down menu, you will have the ability to choose whatever column that you have actually sorted and create. Now, if I scroll down to the right, take a look at that. I'm having a high positive feedback and a high negative feedback. Yes, I am getting a high negative feedback, but because I have a high positive feedback, it's helping me not getting my account suspended. Because it's like, well, there are always, Facebook knows that there are people that's going to be upset about that, and that's fine. But if I had this positive feedback as a low, chances are this account can get completely suspended. So if this number actually goes low, let me actually draw this number out. Again, like I said earlier, going to do this and then show a desktop. So, oops, then go into here. Hold on one sec. All right, try to make this easier. All right, so if my number over here, okay, is just a 1, 2, 4, and this was not high and it was low, this account will actually get forever suspended. So these are the things that you really want to look. And in fact, if you look at my ad, right, if I actually bring back into the performance and click, like, look at this. I'm basically getting 4.77% on link click all and 0.49% on CTR link. So Facebook obviously look at this when they factor in their positive and negative feedback. I'm nearly getting a 5% click-through rate on all. People commenting, liking, sharing, etc., etc. But even if I'm getting such a great click-through rate, it doesn't matter because Facebook ultimately at the end just simply looks at this data over here. They just simply look at these data over here. So put a 1 in the question box if you guys followed exactly and understand how to find these numbers, how to actually now really look deep. And listen, at the end of the day, it's very, very wise for you to actually look at this on a regular basis. You want to look at it and really see these numbers and making sure that you are achieving the numbers that you should be achieving. Okay, don't go after a lower number. You want to actually increase the number to as high as possible, and making sure that you're getting a good feedback. Okay, you're getting positive feedback, and you're really moving away yourself from getting a negative feedback at the same time. So that's why the 3x3 method really helps, because ultimately at the end of the day, what's going to happen is that you, over time, will actually have the ability to actually see, over time, you will basically have the ability to either help with your CPM, because when you actually get a higher relevance score, you actually get rewarded by Facebook on getting a lower CPM rate. Now, again, some people are new. You guys are even like, what is CPM? CPM stands for cost per thousand view. That's what it is all about. So your goal, okay, your ultimate goal is to make sure that you go after a high positive feedback, low negative feedback, and a relevant score. You want to actually get it as high as possible. And if you have any ad, okay, here's some tips and strategies that I can give you when it comes to playing with the relevant score and positive feedback. Tips for the free numbers. And I got a person asking, Jan is asking, if numbers are not good, do you shut the ad down? That's the exact strategy that I would give you. So number one, these are the tips that I would give you. If your relevant score is lower than 4, okay, and I'm going to type this out, with a high negative and low positive feedback, I actually don't pause it. I pause and delete it, okay? You want to delete that, so basically Facebook don't look at it again. You want to pause and delete if your relevant score is lower than 4 and with a high negative feedback and a low positive feedback, okay? If anyone are here looking or reading right now, this is what you want to do. Now, the next thing is very important, okay? The next thing is, let me ask you, how many of you guys want me to give you like more tips on how to get like a better positive feedback, or basically getting a better relevant score? Just put a 1 in the question box, so I basically know that you guys want to learn more of these, and I really obviously throw in a bunch of all of these at you guys already. All right, a lot of people give me a 1 right now. So one thing that you wanted to do is encourage interaction for your ad, okay? Encourage interaction on your ad. You'll be seeing right now, okay? Put a 2 in the question box if you have seen this. People right now, a lot of advertisers are writing a very long post text, and there is a button that or there's a link that says either see more or continue reading. All right, how many of you have seen that? Put a 2 in the question box right now. All right, I'm getting a lot of people giving me a 2 right now. So this is what people are doing. They are encourage interaction. So basically, when people actually click on the continue reading or see more, it gives Facebook the idea that this person is interested. They just want to actually see more of it. Okay, that's what they are doing. So you're really encourage interaction. So things that you can actually do in your ad is make a long post text to make people click the see more or continue reading link. Okay, that's one. The second strategy that I'm not sure why a lot of people are basically saying, well, at the end of the day, I don't want to. At the end of the day, we are not allowed to encourage clicks and everything. You're actually allowed to. So you can actually do this. You can tell them specifically what to do, like you can encourage people to tag their friends, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this, that an ad saying tag your friends if you believe they need to see this, or tag a friend if basically this is what people really need, etc., etc. Another one is encourage people to share it with their friends, because again, Facebook loves it when you tag, shares, and comment on an ad. And then you can also ask people to basically like the post if you agree. I've been using that a lot. or like the post if you want to learn more, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Now, here's also one new strategy that came out. I have not personally tested this yet, but I have people, like advertisers that spend 7 figures right now on Facebook testing this, and they are getting a tremendous amount of response. Because listen, right? At the end of the day, Facebook wants the relevancy, they want positive feedback, and they look at the relevancy and the positive feedback based on the interaction. So right now, you may have seen this before, and you may have experienced this before. People actually, number 3, do not put any links on the ad. What they do is very smart. They basically say, comment below and we'll send you a message link, right? How many of you have seen these kind of ads lately, right? Instead of telling you to click on something, they're basically asking to say, hey, just comment below. Okay, put a yes in the question box if you've seen this. Basically say, comment below, say, to get what you need, and rather than basically just click on the link and all those other stuff. Right, some of you are giving me a yes right now. But you know what? The power of this is very massive. And the reason why it's very massive is because at the end of the day, you are encouraging people to interact with your ad. And like I said earlier, the more interaction you have with your ad, the higher your positive feedback is going to be, the higher your relevance score is going to be, then your lower costs you are going to actually receive straight from Facebook. Now, obviously, if people were to comment, there's a lot of crazy stuff that's going on. So what I've seen lately was a software that really blew my mind, okay? What happened with the software is that when someone comments, again, when someone comments, it's helping with your relevancy score, it's helping all those other stuff. When someone comments, there's a chatbot that will automatically send the person who commented a message right into their Facebook Messenger inbox. And from there, you can sell them, give them links, etc. And the beauty of this is that you can actually bypass the policy issue if your landing page is not basically relevant. You can actually bypass the policy issue, because right now you're basically asking for interaction, and if a person actually has the time to comment below, that means that they are very, very interested on what you have to actually show or to receive. Then that way you have a chatbot that messages them right away to tell them what is going on. And I know that there's a lot of people in the e-commerce space that's testing this right now, and I'll be honest, I've been so busy with other stuff, I haven't even had the time or the leisure to test this right now. But I know that a lot of people around the community, from digital publishing, from local businesses to e-commerce, are really using this piece of software right now. And I want your consent, okay? Who wants to actually see a demo of this software, how it's used, and how you can actually even get free traffic with this messenger? Okay? Regardless if you're running an e-commerce store, regardless if you're running any form of business, this is something new. This is absolutely something new. And just put a 1 or put a yes in the question box if you guys have give me consent to actually ask the product creator behind this to share with you guys what he has been doing and the results that he has been receiving for the e-commerce stores that he has been running. All right, I got a lot of yeses coming in right now. Fantastic, amazing. So here's what's going to happen, okay? Next week, I'll invite our first ever guest on our show. And he's going to reveal his entire Facebook Messenger strategy and show you the best chat software I've ever seen. Like, I would have to give props on it. I do a lot of software, but this is absolutely amazing. So I'm getting a lot of people giving me a yes and giving me a consent about it. So I will invite him next week to be on and give you guys a complete training all about Facebook Messenger. And again, like I said earlier, Facebook Messenger, you're asking people to comment, you are asking people to do certain things. It will help you with your positive feedback, and it will help you with your relevance score. Now, the last tip that I can give you is number 4 is test your ad message. This is why I created the 3x3 method, is that you want people to actually respond to your ad. Each ad has a different mindset of people that will most likely respond. So with that, what you want to do and what you make sure you want to do is to actually test different ad message from different angles. And not only you look at the 4 levels of data, you want to also look at the positive and negative feedback to prevent yourself from account suspension. All right, that's what you wanted to do. How many of you enjoyed this session today? Tell me how. A lot of people just give me a 1 and give me a yes right now. Do it. You guys are marketers. Come on, you guys can do better than that. I got Stellar. I got David saying, what is the 4 level of data? Obviously, you may have missed several of my shows. You want to take a look at that. On a scale of 1 to 10, what will you rate this show so far, like today? Amazing. 10 plus. All right. I got people giving me like 13. All right. Now, I know that some of you guys here, it is a little bit overwhelming. I know some of you guys are giving me like an 8, only because like I don't understand what is going on. It's absolutely fine. We have all these replay available so you guys can actually see it, watch it again, and understand it. And listen, at the end of the day, I'll be very honest and very transparent with you guys. When you go into any of these webinars, shows, weekly shows, trainings, and all this other stuff, you won't be able to grasp all the information or absorb all the information on day 1. You would actually want to watch this like several times, multiple times, so you yourself can actually continue to learn and continue to see. Like even with any training programs you have bought, even if any courses you have bought, watching the video training just one time doesn't cut it. You need to watch it several times until these information sink in. So I know that a lot of people are like, I'm lost, I don't get where it's going on, all those other stuff. You guys can actually look at that. And all our weekly shows, all our weekly webinars on Tuesday, all the replays are actually available on my YouTube channel. You guys can actually go to YouTube, just search up for Fred Lam. You'll see my handsome little face on there. Click on it. You can actually watch all the replay of all the stuff so you guys can actually learn everything that you need to know. And again, every single week I'm going to be bringing on new training to you guys, okay? I'm going to make this a habit right now that every single Tuesday is our days together. It's our time together. I want you to make sure, okay, that you set aside 8 p.m. every single Tuesday to be on our show, to be live with our show. And here's one thing that I'm going to do. I know that several of you guys love to learn. How many of you would appreciate and love to get prizes as well for just being on to our live show? Because I obviously want to give you guys perks for those of you who are showing live, right? Who are here live all the time. And people will be like, well, I'm just going to watch the replay. And if you actually watch a replay, I just feel that you're not dedicated enough. But if you are there live, I think that this means something to me, and I want to actually give you guys something back. So give me a yes in the question box if every single week I'll give away something to an attendee, okay? It can be cash, it could be a gift, or whatever, just to basically, not to basically bribe you or to motivate you, but to reward you for actually being on top of your business, being here all the time. Just put a yes in the question box. All right, I got an overwhelming of yeses coming in. Now it doesn't matter. It can be on GoToWebinar. It can be on YouTube. It can be on Facebook as well. As long as you're live, I will randomly select a person and I'll give them a prize. And I'm not sure what it's going to be. And I'll promise you, okay? I'll promise you, every single stuff that I bring on is going to be training content. And I will also bring on guest experts to tell you guys about their training, what they have been doing, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, accountability. That's what Taryn said. That's right. I'm just wanting to hold you guys accountable for all of that stuff. So with that, how about personal marketing consultation by Casey right in there? All right. So anyways, going back into this right now. So we have 10 minutes left. I want to do some quick Q&A. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, I'm going to jump around. I'm going to answer one and go to webinar. I'm going to answer one on Facebook, and I'm going to answer one on YouTube right now. So tell me what questions you guys have. I'll answer right away. We have 10 minutes right now, and I'm going to just go down and look at a question. I can't do any reviews today only because we have just a lot of we've covered like over almost an hour of content, and I just can't do it. So Jennifer asks, "Hi Fred, how would I know which products are illegal to sell on my site in USA? I'm selling a computer and electronic accessories." That's a really good question. What you wanted to know is Facebook allowing you to advertise that? So you want to actually go into Google and simply search for Facebook advertising policy. They will have an extensive list of products that they prohibit. And if your product actually falls into that category, then don't advertise it. And if it doesn't fall into that category, obviously at the end of the day, you can actually advertise that and take a look at that, and you can actually advertise that. All right. I'm going to answer a question inside Facebook right now. I'm just actually looking at it from here. Carrie Ann said that you are amazing and have helped me immensely. You're welcome. Thank you. I love to see that. I love to help people. That's what I'm all about. I have an e-commerce website of my own inventory. By following what you have taught me and finally placing an ad correctly, should I be concerned with having enough inventory? I am thinking positively. And what should I do if I get a ton of order and need more inventory? So here's what I suggest you do, Carrie. I won't scale your ad right away. I'll start with $5 because at $5 a day, let's say that you make a sale every day or you make a sale every 2 days, you will have a inventory forecast on knowing, okay, how many orders can I do and how many days does it take me to actually deplete my inventory. So when you have that calculation in place, then all you have to do is come up, it's just spreadsheet numbers, right? Let's say that, I'm just going to throw numbers out there. Let's say that you're able to use Facebook ad at $5 budget a day, you're able to sell 1 product per day. And you have 60 products in your inventory line. So you have 60 quantity right now. That means that you will exhaust your product in simply 60 days, in 2 months. And it takes you a month time to actually buy back your inventory and have it into your warehouse. So what I would do is I would actually test the throttle right away. I would make sure that I have 1 month lead time so I don't run out of inventory. So let's say that if you're selling 1 a day, that means that on day 30, you want to place an order for your inventory. Now, the second thing that I would do is I would actually torture test. I would use 1 week and see, can I go from $5 per day to $50 per day and still make a profit? And if I went from $5 to 50 orders, 50 bucks a day, and I basically, the sale correlates by, if I multiply my ad cost by 10, my inventory gets sold by 10. Then what you would do is like, okay, I can see that I can comfortably sell 10 a day. Then what I would do is I would scale down my ad back to 5, and then I would actually order my inventory based on 10x of my monthly inventory. So that means that I would actually order 300 rather than 30. So when I have the 300 in stock, then I would actually bump it up to 50 bucks a day and start to sell 10 a day. And you start basically taking steps and increasing from there. So your next goal is from 50 bucks to 100 bucks. And if you're still staying at 100 bucks and you you basically 2 extra sales, that means you need 2 extra inventory. You scale it back to $50 and plan for $100 in products. So I hope, Carrie, that helps you out on understanding what I would do if I were you. Now, I'm actually going to go into YouTube right now to answer a question. Like I said, I'm going to do 1 GoToWebinar, 1 on Facebook, and 1 on YouTube. So just keep it all fair and keep it making sure that I cover everyone. Oh, I just realized the chat got disabled on YouTube. My apology on that. I'm going to get that fixed. So Anyone on YouTube right now? My apology. For some reason, it got chat is disabled. I will make sure that it gets enabled next week. All right, next question. All right, so Lennon asks, hello, I gotta copy and paste this. It's too small for my eyes. I have a big monitor. So, what's her name? It is by Lenny. Lenny asks, what does she ask? I hope you are a she. I'll feel bad if I basically didn't say you're a she. All right. Hello from the middle of night of Norway. First of all, thank you for your time. It's not easy to find professional marketers that are giving away so much of their time for free. Thank you. You're awesome. Thank you. My question, with the 3x3 Facebook ad method, you suggest to use ad types like video, single image, carousel, etc. I'm in a jewelry niche and would like to give this method a try, but are struggling to come up with different creative. I think it's quite obvious that a video for a necklace is not a bestseller, and I always use carousel ad, which make me think that a single image will not perform better. Dynamic ads maybe, but can't see that you have any training on it, and I'm lost without you. Are my assumption right? If so, do you suggest on different ads I can use? So first of all, you want to use single image ad and you want to use carousel ad. So here's what I would do if I were you. If you have the leisure, if you have the time to do so, and you basically have the ability to do so. What I would do is I would order that product and have it basically from and have that product that you're advertising brought to you. While you're waiting for that product to actually come to you, you want to set up basically a single image ad and 2 carousel ads. And you can actually use the same image, but the post text got to be different. Okay? I'm not sure what you're advertising, but there's many angles that you can do, like selling a pen. There are many ways for you to sell a pen. So you want to think of different angles and different side of the equation. It's just like selling a, okay, let's say selling a flashlight. This is a tactical flashlight I found on AliExpress. This product is phenomenal. I used it. Holy crap, this tactical LED flashlight is really good. And I found this on eBay that did over $1 million in sales already. So with the tactical flashlight, there are many ways that you can do. Now, again, you can go after jewelry, but I'm using a tactical flashlight as an example for you. But you can think it on a jewelry standpoint too. I can go after survival. Okay, I can go after a survival market, saying that have this in your bug-out bag, etc., and angle on the survival side. I can go after camping. Okay, people that goes into camping doesn't have a flashlight. This is going to be perfect. So I have an ad with different post text. Even the images are the same. I can have a different post text that angles it into the camping side. I can go after one that's basically hiking. I can go after one that's basically for defense. Right? If you get off work, if you work graveyard shift and you are a female, this is something that you should use. It can blind the dog or whatever. So that's what you want to come up with. You want to come up with different ideas and angles you can use in the same image. You can use the same image. You just need to be creative and think of different angles and different ideas and moving forward from there. All right. So I'm going to go to Facebook right now to answer more questions. Linda asks, can I have several e-commerce store with the same Shopify accounts? So unfortunately, you cannot. All right, unfortunately, you cannot. Each Shopify account is actually tied with each store. All right. I'm going to answer 2 more questions. Okay, that's what I'm going to do because we've reached the top of the hours. Excuse me. So Juhan asks, hi Fred, grateful for this opportunity. You're welcome. Question, when you open your Shopify store, should you open a new Facebook page exclusively for the store, or should you open the one in your name, pros and cons? You always want to open a Facebook page exclusive for your store because that's how you build your branding, and you need a Facebook page to actually advertise on Facebook. So one Shopify store, one Facebook page. One Shopify store, one Facebook page. All right. Next question is Melody Tan. Hi Fred, I read your Zero Up book and I think that the main target audiences are American. I'm currently in South Korea and most people think that 3 weeks of delivery is considered very long. Well, Melody, here's one thing. You can be in South Korea selling to Americans. You can be in South Korea selling to France. You can be in South Korea selling into Australia. That's the beauty of things. Now, here's another thing that I want to bring up. You said most people think that 3 weeks delivery is considered very, very long. Yes, it's true, but at the end of the day, that's too much assumption that you have. What I would tell you is test it and let the data tell you. It doesn't matter if the person actually waits 2 weeks or 3 weeks to get the product. What you need to look is looking at the data to see if you're actually building profits out of your store. That's all you have to worry about, and that's all it matters. People are starting to get used to getting 2 to 3 weeks of delivery at the same time. Amazon obviously did really make everyone getting fast delivery time and all those other stuff. Obviously, that is going to be a pain in the butt. But don't let the 2 to 3 weeks of delivery basically be something that's holding you back. Okay, you don't want that to happen, and that's the last thing you want to do. So that's really it for today. I know that there's a lot of questions coming in. I know that obviously I went too far talking about basically a lot of training today. I just got too excited. I love advertising. If you guys can hear it, like when I ever talk about Facebook ads, whenever I talk about anything, I just love talking about Facebook in general, and I just love doing advertising. I love training. I just find it in me that I just love when I basically train. So anyways, with that really hits the top of the hours. I hope you guys really enjoyed this section. And listen, okay, put a 1 in the question box if you guys are going to be here next week. Same time, same link, same location, regardless if you're on Facebook, regardless if you're on GoToWebinar, regardless of your YouTube. You guys are dedicated to be here all the time. All right, and I will tell you, the more you guys show up live, the more motivated I am to do all these. Like you guys can see, for the last 10 episodes, I did not even sell you a single thing. I obviously last time I did ask you guys consent if I bring you guys a guest speaker, if they show you an opportunity and you guys all agree with that. But listen, at the last 10 show, I didn't even make a single penny off of you guys. And I'm trying to do all these shows on a weekly basis on every single Tuesday and make it a habit that every single Tuesday we're going to go full training, and then I'm going to do Q&As. And obviously if we have a guest speaker on board, I won't be able to do Q&As, but ultimately my goal here is to help you guys. And for all the replays is actually available on my YouTube channel. You guys can actually go to my YouTube channel and take a look and go from there. All right. So before I hop off, again, you guys are marketers, and I need to train you guys as a marketer. I need to train you guys to think as an entrepreneur and think as an advertiser. So use 3 words to describe today's section today. Okay. I want something different. I want something amazing. Don't just say like "thank you, Fred," although I very appreciate it. But I want to test you guys your creativity on using words. At the end of the day, when it comes to ads, words are the most powerful thing ever. So right in the question box, put in 3 words. Fiercely phenomenal, Fred. Okay, I like this one. Michael, you're my best friend now, and I'm literally going to do this. I'm going to show this to this person. So Michael said better than Onyx. I love this. I'm gonna take a picture right now and send it off to him, and I'm gonna tease him on this. Let me show that. All right, I just did that, and I just sent it off to him. I'll see what he says. Diego said the same thing too. No, he's not gonna ban you. He'll just laugh at it. So let's see. The best one so far is Janice, fiercely phenomenal. Steven says superbly informative hour, enormously enlightening by Greg. That's a really good one. Oh, I like Derek's. Derek said devilishly slick moves. That is very interesting. All right. So anyways, with that, I got high relevance score, fabulous, terrific, furious, amazing. All right. So with that, I hope you guys really enjoyed this section. And at the end of the day, what I really, really wanted to do is to make sure that I provide as much value and content as possible and inspire you guys to actually run your business, start looking at an online business. Right now is the perfect opportunity to run an online business, escape the 9-to-5 ruts. Okay, at the end of the day, I don't think anyone will want to actually work for someone. You want to work for yourself, and the only thing that's really holding you back is yourself. Okay, you have all the resources, you have all the training you need, you have access to all my YouTube videos, you have access to my 10-part video training series. It's more than enough for you to get started and start making money online. And again, I'm encouraging you to do this because I believe that every single person in the planet should be an entrepreneur. Okay? Well, obviously, I should take a step back. I should really say we still need the working force, like people in the nurses, people that are nurses, doctors, all this other stuff. We still need it. But at the end of the day, if you believe that you deserve something greater, looking to create an online business. It can be a side business that you create. It can be anything because, let's be honest, right? Making an additional $5,000 a month is going to really, really change your life. So that's what I want you to do, okay? Stay motivated. Keep hustling. Keep working. Keep making sure that you take steps and you're moving ahead each day. Every day, you're doing something different. You're doing something that's going to change your life, change your business, change your career. Just do something about it. All right? So with that, I will hope to see you guys next week. That's all I have for today. Love to see you guys next week again. I will basically tell you guys next week what I'm going to bribe you guys every single week to be on here because we have like hundreds of you guys online, and I want to actually reward you guys for being here every single week and not reward those who are just watching the replay. All right? So with that, that's all I have.